Hi everyone, this is Carolina Millan and I want to welcome you to a new episode of Beyond the Hustle, and I'm super excited about today's guest. This is a power woman and I always love talking to other women entrepreneurs. We haven't had that many on the podcast, so I got to change that. Christy Nickel, the founder of the Code Red lifestyle movement. How are you, Christy?
Oh my gosh, I'm doing so great. So you got such a great name, Beyond the Hustle. That's such a great name for a podcast, and this is a real honor to be with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. The honor is mine to have you here today. For the few people that don't know you yet, I think they're going to be really motivated and inspired by your story. So let's get started there. How did you start your career? What you were doing before what you do today? How did you become a boxer? I mean, I want to hear it all. So let's hear it.
Well, it's an awesome backstory. You know, I grew up pretty poor in northern Idaho. My dad was a cop. My mom was a secretary. We just didn't have any money. So when I wanted to go to college, when I got out of high school and I did some traveling and I wanted to go to college, I didn't have any money or any help with anybody on that. So I started waiting tables, and it just wasn't a whole lot of money. I could barely make ends meet. So I was actually taking a boxing class at a local gym. And I'd never done any kind of boxing before. And a real boxing trainer actually walked by and was watching me through the glass. And he walks in there between rounds and says, "How long you been boxing?" I said, 44 minutes. And he goes, "You have a real propensity for the sport." Well, now that I'm a coach, I understand what he means. Some people just kind of have it. And so he said, "Well, do you want to fight? You know, you could fight." And I said, "Buddy, I'm in college. I'm not interested in fighting. I'm just trying to get myself through nursing school." And he said, "But you could earn money as a professional boxer." Well, that's all I cared about. I had no idea really what I was getting myself into. I just cared about the money, you know? And so I started fighting only as a way to pay my way through college. I had no idea that it would turn into what it did, which was my own MTV show, multiple magazine covers, multiple awards. And I just kind of climbed up through the ranking systems. I ended up competing over the course of almost 8 years in 15 pro fights all over the world, 2 world titles. And it was, the boxing career gave me a lot. But when I retired from boxing, I didn't want to lose my figure because I had worked so hard to stay in shape. I immediately switched over into elite level cycling, where I was cycling close to 300 miles a week. And so I was really working out about 3 hours a day. Problem was I started to get fat. And I couldn't understand why I was getting heavier and heavier. And I thought, my gosh, I'm working out all the time. What's going on? I'm 32 years old. I'm not old, I wouldn't think. And so I started to do some research, and I realized that my diet was not good. And that's why I was putting on weight. So I created the Code Red lifestyle because all I had to do was change my diet and all the weight came off, the weight that I had gained. And then I realized that exercise has nothing to do with weight loss, and that everybody, because this levels a playing field for everybody, whether they're in a wheelchair or they're missing a leg or they got a bum hip or a bad back or they're old or they're whatever's wrong with them. They don't want to work out. They can still lose weight. So that's how I created the Code Red lifestyle, and it's spreading all over the world. I wrote a book, and it's giving people hope and healing by just concentrating on real food, water, and sleep.
I love it. I mean, it sounds very simple. I mean,
super.
What does Code Red mean? Like, what is the meaning behind the name?
Yeah, when I was in nursing school, I had kind of similar hair, not quite as radical as this blue mohawk, but it was red and it stuck out everywhere and it was red. And I was in nursing school. And so my sister says to me, she's a nurse, and she said, "Christy, you are getting ready to fight pro. You need a ring name." And I said, "A ring name?" And she said, like, "Christy Black Widow Nickel," or "Christy on fire now." Or I said, "Well, what do you?" And she goes, "How about Christy Code Red?" And as she goes, "Code because you're studying medicine, and red because of your red hair." And I went, "Christy Code Red." And it stuck. And it was voted one of the best ring names in boxing history. I mean, everywhere I go, people love the name Code Red. So long after my boxing career ended, I just carried it over into Code Red everything. So now wherever I go, people don't even know what my last name is. It's just Christy Code Red.
Christy Code Red. I mean, and that's your Instagram too. Like, I've been following you there as Christy Code Red. I actually had to look up, oh my God, what was her last name?
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. So what are the main principles behind the Code Red lifestyle? Like you mentioned, getting sleep and water and the right food. What would you say are the core principles behind it?
We definitely keep it really, really, really simple. We say no shakes, no pills, no diet foods, and no exercise. And I don't allow those items. Now, if somebody wants to exercise, of course, as an exercise physiologist, I absolutely believe in the million other benefits of exercise, but not as a way to address a weight problem. So it's not something I even talk about on Code Red. I won't talk about it because people will get confused and they think that they need to exercise, and it's so definitely the top 3 ways to lose weight: you've got to drink the water, you've got to get your sleep, and you only eat real food. And so that's what we base the entire business model around, the entire philosophy, all of our beliefs, our mission statement, everything is around real food, water, and sleep. And we don't allow shakes, pills, diet foods, or exercise as a way to address a weight problem. And we have people that are losing over 100 pounds. We have 3 a week. We give a crystal engraved trophy to people who lose over 100 pounds on Code Red. And I'm sending out 3 a week to people. So people are getting healed. It's pretty incredible.
I love this. Like, besides losing weight, are people like recovering from certain illnesses or? Yeah,
that's, in fact, the weight loss ends up being far down on the list compared to the medications that they're getting off of, the diabetes, the lower cholesterol, the increased energy, the increased sleeping. They're having their skin's clearing up, their nails and hair are growing again. They have confidence, they have strength, they have energy, they have increased libido. I mean, it's just incredible. The benefits are absolutely incredible. And weight loss ends up being something that people don't even mention, because they're being healed from so many other ailments, just from eating real food, just from turning off your phone a little earlier at night and getting to bed. And it's pretty simple. It's almost too good to be true when you think about it. People think, what's the catch? But we have, people are by the thousands are getting healed all over the world. So we have the testimonies to back it up and the blood work numbers to back it up. So it's pretty awesome.
No, I love this. And especially you have a nursing background. So you know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And we have a lot of nurses on staff, and we have doctors, and we have physician assistants, and we have lots of data and research and manpower to back the whole thing up. So we can take on just about anybody.
I love this. So what would you say has been, along this journey, what has been a big challenge that you have faced, and how did you overcome it?
A big challenge was definitely the fact that I didn't know what I was doing as far as running a business. I know how to get weight off of people, but when it came to running the business, and growing Code Red, I had no clue. I had one office. I saw one client at a time. I didn't know how to scale up. I didn't know how to make it to where I can actually reach the numbers that I needed to reach. I wanted to reach millions and make millions, and I didn't know. So definitely getting coaching was absolutely job one, because I needed help and I needed a team. You can't grow to the level that you want without a team.
That is so important and so true. Like, so many people are trying to get ahead without any help. Yeah, you got it. So I first saw you at the Funnel Hacking Live event just like last month, literally. And I was really impressed by your story, but I was also so impressed by your funnels. So how did you, after getting the coaching you needed, how did you get into the funnel world? And how did that happen?
Yeah, I'm fairly new. Actually, I'm new to the funnel world. I'd never even heard of it. I didn't understand what it was. I didn't know they existed. And that's why my life was so difficult, because I didn't incorporate funnels. I mean, the challenge funnel has single-handedly completely transformed my life and transformed Code Red. So it has been a huge thing to incorporate. And so I didn't know what it was. And my first business coach, Natasha, brought it. She explained to me what it is. And immediately I started to learn how to build my own funnel. And I quickly realized that, no, Christy, you got to stay in your lane of getting weight off people and hire people, because it was so hard for me not having just because it wasn't that it's hard. It's actually pretty easy, the different platforms that I use. But what I needed to be doing was concentrating on what I did best. And so I brought in some people to help me build the funnel out, and then they would build it, and they would ask me, do you like the way this looks, Christy? And I say, yeah, I like that. And together as a team, I just put together a team of people that would build out what needed to be built to where it was easy for people. And I just stuck with what I was good at, which was marketing and helping people lose weight.
That's probably the smartest thing to do. Like, focus on your art and what you're good at. But yeah, I mean, actually a couple of days ago, I went to your funnel, and it was like on a wait list or something. So I don't really need to lose weight, but I might take it just because I'm so curious. What do you think has been the key to the success of that funnel, of that challenge?
I think that it's really, the challenge funnel has been so incredibly successful because it's such a low price to get in. And I'm claiming, mine's called the 10-pound takedown. So I'm claiming you can lose 10 pounds in 30 days by just following these simple rules and following me, and let me educate you for 30 days. And so people say, well, 10 pounds, so I can lose 10 pounds for $47. So here I am. Almost everybody I talk to would love to lose 10 pounds. All of us could, all of us could.
I could do with that. I could do with 10 pounds less.
Sure. And then you see the $47 price tag. And so it's not so intimidating, and you don't worry. Well, people think themselves, it's only $47. If it doesn't work, I'm not out much. And so it scoops up, I'm able to scoop up thousands of people every challenge with such a low priced item. But then while they're with me for the 30 days, I'm able to teach them, get to know them, educate them, and show them why it works. And then by the end of the 30 days, I'm hoping that they buy into the higher ticket item and stay with me for longer term. But it's a low cost item. Almost anybody can afford it. And there's hardly any risk. It's just nothing but what can you gain? What can the benefit be? Well, I can lose 10 pounds, or I lose the $47 and I don't gain any benefit, but that never happens. So it's really risk-free.
Yeah. Also, your numbers were really impressive too. Like, from the people who took on the 47 challenge, like, your conversions were like, wow, like the amount of people going for the next step. How do you increase the value? As in, people get so much value for the 47, right? Mm-hmm. What do you do for them in the higher ticket item that makes it irresistible?
Yeah, that's a great question. The higher ticket item is, it's a custom program to where we absolutely write everything for them. And so what I can deliver to the client is zero guesswork. I do 100% of the work. I let them know exactly what they need to eat and drink. And I line it out for them. I assign them, or they get to pick their own coach. So they get to spend all this time in a support group. They turn in their weight to me. So it's accountability, it's a support, it's education. They get swag with it. They get so much value. You can't find a program that gives as much value as we do and then being able to spend 90 days, and almost everybody can lose 100% of their weight in that amount of time, because you can lose 10% of your body weight every month on the custom program. So it's a no-brainer to people. And the way I paint it, and we kind of trickle it in during the challenge, I try not to do too much hard selling, especially when they don't really know me. I wait till maybe the third week to start bringing up the custom program, because a lot of people, they say, all right, I know, people buy things from people they know, like, and trust. So I've really built up their trust. They like me, they trust me, I'm hard on them. They know I've got the data to prove it. So by the third week, I start saying, okay, those of you, and everybody's lost their 10 pounds by now. So those of you who want more, here's what I can offer you. And the conversion rate's 20% across the board. And it's absolutely, we're talking about 5,000 people, 20% of that. I mean, it's an incredible conversion, buying $1,000 program. And then, of course, they're buying all kinds of other products from Code Red. And it's just really, it's incredible. And they're getting all the weight off and never having to deal with their weight problem again.
I love that. I mean, how do you follow up with people after? Like, because people tend to think that after they lose the weight, if they go back to their old habits, it's going to come back. How do you guys make sure that doesn't happen?
You are so right. Oh, yeah, that's a big problem in any weight loss. Remember, any weight loss program is going to work if you just do it, but can you keep the weight off? And that is a big problem that we at Code Red really address. So the way we follow up is our coaches, my coaches, will follow up the client. If they leave their group and they're no longer on our program, we still continue we have them on an email campaign where we continue to stay in touch with them, but we also offer what's called a maintenance group. And yours truly, I teach it myself.
Nice.
And that's teaching, yeah. And so that's incentive enough. And everybody wants to be coached by me, but I don't coach anymore. I don't coach weight loss anymore. And so the coaches coach it. So it's incentive. Wait, Christy's coaching a maintenance group? Well, I want to get in on it. Well, you have to lose all your weight. You have to be at goal weight to join my group. And then we deep dive, but it's so easy. I think the key to keeping your weight off is to make it not very much different from how it was in weight loss. And I know on Code Red, we have 3 rules to keeping your weight off, and that's it. You must drink all your water every day. You must stay on the scale every day, and you never allow junk food to stay in your house past the night. So if you have your kid's birthday party, that means the cupcakes leave with that last kid or they go in the garbage.
Oh.
And so I've found that if people, but I offer that maintenance group, and it's the same price as other groups. So I don't jack up the price because it's me, because I'm the founder of the company. I say, hey, join me. Let me teach you how to live life here. And then together we walk through it. Hey, Christy, I want to go have pizza. And I say, all right, this is what we're going to do. We're going to hyperhydrate. And then you're going to take some, fish oil, and it's going to help mitigate inflammation. And so I work through all those anniversaries, dinners, birthdays, vacations with the people. I hold their hand, and no other program does that. So we don't want repeat offenders. We don't want people gaining back their weight. So it's so important to me for them to keep their weight off, even though that I'm not going to have me making more money from them. I don't care. My heart is that they don't put that weight back on. So I make sure they don't.
I love that. And I love the fact that you don't shame them. Like, hey, I want to eat pizza. You don't make them feel bad about it. You tell them what to do to minimize the effects.
Yes, it's not prison, and you have to live life. And people say, I want a glass of wine. Okay, you absolutely can. But here's what we got to do. You just can't do Snickers and a glass of wine. You got to do the glass of wine, but you got to eat clean the rest of the day. So there's a way. I want to have pancakes, not a problem. Let's plan it around, So we work together, and I hold their hand the whole way, because I'll be talking them off the ledge because your weight goes up when you cheat. And so I don't want them upset. And if they're with me, holding my hand, linking arms with me, then nothing's going to happen to them. And then pretty soon I teach them, and then they can go on their own. And my desire is that they do go on their own, and they've got all the tools, and they're totally good to go.
No, that's incredible. Like, I remember I did a detox program with Tony Robbins, his life mastery program. And there were a bunch of people cheating in between, because it was like a 5-day juice diet, and like the most horrible juices you can imagine, with onions and garlic and I remember some days, like the next day in the seminar room, like the coaches, because Tony wasn't there, but the coaches would show up on stage and, holding a cola can or a Snickers paper and say, I'm not going to say where, but our staff found this in one of you guys' room. So if you're cheating,
oh my gosh,
do that. And it's a $5,000 program. Like, why would you cheat? But
exactly.
It's it's human nature. But I love the fact that you actually reward people, that you send them trophies. Like, how did you come up with that idea to send physical gifts?
I think that I think it's really important to reward people with something. We send them goal letters. I send them an autographed letter. It's nice. It's big. It's like 9 by 12. It's me, and I send them a handwritten note. And so I think it's important, because 2 reasons why the goal letter and the trophy is important. 100 pounds is a ton of weight, and it's hard to lose. And when our people do it, not only are they getting something from us that rewards them, but they're going to have that constant reminder sitting on their desk saying, it says, congratulations, John Smith, for losing 100 pounds, March 2019. We are so proud of you. But that's a reminder for him to not put that crap back in his mouth, to not go back to his old ways, because you can never go back to your old ways. And so it's keeping us right in front of him, keeping my voice, a form of my voice right there in front of him, saying, John, I'm watching you, buddy. And we don't want you getting back into the same mess that you were in before. It doesn't mean you can't have a Snickers. It means you have to have it strategically. But people that are morbidly obese or obese at all, they have a lot of issues that got them to where they were. And so we have to, that trophy is a reminder of all the work that you had to do to get here and to stay on track, buddy. I'm here. I'm with you. I'm always going to be here for you. And so it's a twofold. It rewards them for their hard work, but it also, and it's beautiful, it's crystal, it's pretty big, it's nice, everybody's very proud of it, but it also puts me right in front of them to keep that crap out of their mouth. You know?
Yeah, I mean, it works. Like, it's probably a good reminder, and nobody wants to go back there, you know? Yeah.
No.
So if you, and here's a question from one of my, because I asked a few of my friends and my audience, hey, do you have questions for Christy? And this is a friend who was also at the funnel hacking event, and he saw you too. And he asked me, ask her this, if she lost everything, so if you lost everything, what would you do to get it back? Like, if you lost everything, but you still have your knowledge, like you still know what you're doing, how would you get back on track? How would you start over again?
If I lost everything, how would I get back on track? I would borrow money to get back to where my husband, I had to borrow $100,000 from my husband and to get started on Code Red. And I would go back to him and say, all right, Miles, I've lost everything, but I still have my knowledge. I still know this works. I won't make the same mistake twice that made me lose everything. I'm assuming that's what I did. And I would go back to borrowing because I know my product will sell. I know that I know that I'm good for it. I know I will make payments. I know I'll pay them back. I know that I'll still be back on track soon enough. And I would go back to because it takes money to get started. It takes money for someone to build your website. It takes money for someone to get up and running. Maybe not 100,000 for everybody, but I would go back and I wouldn't delay. I would go get a second job if I needed to, whatever I needed to do usually it's a big chunk of money to get someone going, get someone up and running. And if that's what it was, I would go and borrow money and say, I would not delay. I would not say, well, when I save the money, or I'll go get a job waiting tables and I'll save it. I'm not going to save it quick enough than just going to Miles and saying, hey buddy, I need you. I love you. You still, I know he trusts me, and I would go and I would get the money, and I'd start with a big chunk and get right back where I was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Is there anything you'd do differently from your current experience?
Is there anything I would do differently? If I could back up even further, if I could back up 10 years ago, the first thing I would do would be definitely, oh Lord, I would get a business coach. I would get a business coach right off the bat. I mean, that has been the single biggest thing that changed the whole course of Code Red, because the business coach brought along the funnels, and the funnels brought along and so I would, instead of trying to just muscle my way through it and say to myself, well, Christy, you're a farm girl, hard work, it'll get you there. Well, hard work's not enough. And I needed a good coach, because a good coach formed a good team, and they came with ideas and they came with systems. And so I would definitely start off, instead of trying to just do it myself and thinking that working 16 hours a day was going to get me there. Well, no, a good team and good coaching is what gets you there, and you got to be a hard worker too. You can't be a lazy bum, but I would definitely have gotten a coach 10 years ago, if anything, because I just didn't know what I didn't know. And I only knew it when I had someone come along behind me and say, all right, here's what you need, Christy.
Yeah. So getting coaching sooner, right? Not hesitating.
Way sooner.
Yeah. Like so many of us, sometimes we try to convince ourselves that, well, no, we got this figured out. Yeah. Coaching makes a huge difference. Now, well, we talked a lot about the Code Red lifestyle and everything. So besides your program being simple and everything, what else would you say has been the key to your success? Like, other than the coaching, like what has really made a huge difference besides the coaching and the funnels?
Yeah. Besides the coaching and the funnel, a big thing that has made Code Red a success is putting team members in place to me outsourcing things to other people.
Outsourcing.
I know that people that you're listening to my voice right now and you're thinking, I got this. And maybe you do got this, but there is somebody out there that you can pay a little bit of money that's got this a little better than you. So I mean, I've got a team that is absolutely huge. And it's Rachel that's running ads, it's Marley that's running videos, it's my sister who's the COO, and then we've got an IT department, we've got Brandon doing a website, we've got Chris optimizing funnels, we've got a copywriter on staff. It is just outsource. In fact, Miles asked me a question the other day. My husband has done really well for himself early in his career, and he lives a very comfortable life. And he says, what would you do, Christy, if you had all the money in the world? And I said, I didn't even hesitate. I said, I'd outsource more. And he goes, you mean you wouldn't buy a yacht or a jet or so? I said, I would outsource more. That is the key. That is the key, guys. You've got to get people who are working on things that do it better, do it quicker, and can get you going in that area without you trying to slave over it and figure it out yourself. So I would definitely, I've got the team in place. Everybody checks in with me on a regular basis. I know where everybody is in the process. I know what their ETA is on the project, and I continue to market, and they continue, and then we all come together and we knit it together like a big quilt. And so definitely outsource to people who are experts in their field.
Mm-hmm. Build a bigger team, delegate as much as you can, and only use your time with doing the thing that you know how to do.
Yes. And trust them. I had to trust them. I mean, I'm a micromanager. I'm a control freak. I know that. I don't think it's bad. I think people, that's like, they just said that's a bad thing. Well, Grant Cardone doesn't think that's a bad thing. And so
True.
I've learned it. I mean, after learning from Grant Cardone, I've learned to just embrace my control freakness. But I know that, okay, Rachel told me that this will be ready then. I trust her, and it's always ready on time. And so, I ride them, I check on them, but I trust them. I know it's going to be done. They've never let me down yet.
Love it. I love it. So that's a good question. Your husband, I was going to ask you a similar question, but what's next? Like, what is your vision, and what's next for Christy and for the Code Red Revolution?
Yeah, we've got a lot of projects in place. We're coming out with the second edition of the Code Red Revolution book, which is going to be swapped out with all new success stories. There's going to be a Where Are They Now section. There are going to be a few things that I've changed, I've learned since I wrote the book the first time. We're coming out with a 1-year program with financing, which is really going to help people. We're going to be doing a Code Red retreat. We're going to be we're going to be bringing on more coaches so we can serve more people. We have a challenge coming up in May, another 10-pound takedown, and that's going to be great. I think we're going to come up with some apparel.
Nice.
Just a few things. Yeah, I finally came out with my own podcast. I was slow to get that memo. Yeah, and so I'll be putting out some content on that. We're going to be filming another 6 months worth of content coming up at the end of the month. Lots of what we call after hours events, which are dinners with Christy, which is an event where you can come and have dinner with me. It's great. It's called After Hours with Christy. We're doing about 4 of those a month. So in different cities all over the world. So lots of ways to meet me, lots of ways to get in our community. We're building our tribe. We're growing the brand. We're growing the people. We're just bringing hope and healing across the world to people. It's pretty exciting.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Where are you located at the moment? Oops, did I lose you? Are you back? Are you there?
Oh, there yep. Now there you are. You froze.
Oh, you froze too. Oh my gosh. Okay, I was asking, like, where are you located? Because I'm going to the US soon. I want to see where I can meet you.
Boise, Idaho is my home base. Boise,
okay.
Idaho, the capital of Idaho. It's kind of a southern Idaho. It's absolutely gorgeous here. We have the mountain biking trails right here. We have the snowboarding and the skiing right here. It's a low stress. It's beautiful. We have pine trees. It's the most gorgeous city. One of the top 10 fastest growing cities in the U.S. So it's wonderful.
Nice. Yeah, I've been to Boise one time for this event with Russell Brunson, but it was so brief. It was really brief. So if I'm ever back there, I'll let you know for sure. Christy, one last question. Thank you so much, by the way. So far, we're getting so much value. How are you promoting your challenge? I'm just curious. How are you promoting your challenge? Like, are you getting people through the door through a webinar or directly through Facebook ads? I'm just curious.
The main source of getting people is through Facebook ads. I spend around $3,000 a day on ads, and Rachel Peterson she's been working with Code Red for a long time, and she's great at knowing exactly what my audience wants. And so we run a lot of ads, and in between challenges, we get people on the waiting list. And so that's our main thing. I do dual live interviews with people who have had success on the challenge. And I do that I do one a day for 30 days leading up to the challenge. And then I think we're going to be running some YouTube ads. We actually don't run very many. And I'm surprised that we've been able to scoop up so many thousands and thousands of people with such a minimal effort. But it's a kind of a grassroots movement. So most of it is Facebook ads, our email list, and different maybe local TV stations I'm on, and different local stuff like that, but mostly Facebook ads.
Very cool. Very cool. Facebook ads is still like so underpriced.
Totally.
I know. Any final words of inspiration for our listeners, both the entrepreneurials and the people who may want to lose weight, which, by the way, we'll give them all the links to learn more about you.
Hey, you know what? I got to tell you, entrepreneurs, you know what? Listen to my voice, listen to my heart. You absolutely have got something that the world needs to hear. Do not undervalue that. Do not sit back and say, oh, well, I'll do it next week. I'll do it next month or maybe next quarter. You've got to do it now. I'm turning 43 very soon. And I wish I would have had this kind of drive and this kind of knowledge 10 years ago, 20 years ago. And this is absolutely right now. The internet is wonderful. The opportunity is wonderful. But more importantly, stop thinking, well, I'm not as big as so-and-so. You got compare-itis. You're comparing yourself to other people, and that's muffling what you need to say. You've got to step up, because I promise you someone needs to hear what you've got to say. Someone is going to be healed from what you are bringing to the table. Get up. Get your house in order, get yourself cleaned up, get out, start producing some content, get in front of the camera. It does not have to be perfect. It just needs to be done. Done is better than perfect. You have what it takes, even in your imperfectness. You don't need to have everything perfect. Just make it happen. Put something out there, create something, and just be moving forward. I don't care if it's a snail's pace. Be moving forward. Be taking little baby steps forward. And yeah, absolutely. If you've got some weight to lose, I'm your girl. All right. I'm a very no nonsense girl. Okay. I'll get the weight off of you, but you got to follow my rules. And you're going to feel so much better. You're going to be able to create content if you get some weight off and start drinking some water and getting some more sleep.
I love it. When is the next challenge coming up, and what is the link for people to sign up?
Next challenge begins May 13th, and 10poundtakedown.com is where you can go to sign up. Registration doesn't open until mid-April. We open 1 month before the challenge starts, so you guys have some time. Definitely get on the wait list. But the number 10, P-O-U-N-D, takedown.com.
10poundtakedown.com. Love it.
Yes.
And any other website where we can find you?
Yeah, if you need any other help, if you just want to look at our other counseling programs or different products that we offer, coderedlifestyle.com is the place to go.
Awesome. Christy, thank you so much. It's been a real pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you. This is so fun. And again, such an honor.
Oh, the honor is mine. Thank you so much. I'm really excited. And to everybody who is listening, thank you guys, and watching, because this is going to be on YouTube as well and Facebook and everywhere. Go follow Christy on Instagram. You're super fun on Instagram too. You go live and everything. I love what you got going on.
I do. I go live. I don't care when I was putting away dishes and I went live. I'm pretty authentic. Yeah. Thank you.
That's what I love, connecting with authentic people, because I think that's what people love about you. Besides the fact that your method works, the fact that you're a cool person, awesome person to hang out with and to talk to. I love it.
Thank you.